Well, good morning, folks. Pastor Rocky Branch, Spruce Pine First Baptist Church. Get my pillow fixed. Woo! Been a fast few days at our golf tournament yesterday. A lot of success in that. Today, we'll have workers start coming back. Today is day 255. 255 days ago, the flood erupted in our town and wiped things completely out. So it changed everything. Anyway, we all know that. And we're praying about that, and the workers are coming back. So there you go. Now, we're talking about Cain, Abel, Adam and Eve, the serpent, all kinds of stuff. I hope I've given you enough to chew on for a little bit. I'm going to throw something else on you now. The Bible says that when the Lord talked to Cain after he had killed Abel, in the 4th chapter, and the Lord asked him, "Where is your brother?" And Cain said, "Am I my brother's keeper?" And the Lord obviously said yes. And we are responsible for our brothers and sisters. Birthright, of course, but born again right, absolutely. We are responsible to do what we can to help. Now, there's some that we can't help, some don't want help, but we ought to try. We'll do the best we can. Okay. So now he says, the Lord said, "What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries from the ground, and now you are cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall not bring forth fruit. A fugitive and a vagabond shall you be in the earth." And Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is so great, I cannot bear it. Behold, this has driven me out of this, from this day, from the face of the earth." He's talking about the area that he's in. He's going to be driven out. "And from your face shall I be hid," which means he don't think he can get a hold of God because he's going to be out of the place where he met God, which obviously wasn't true, but that's what they believed. "And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall kill me." And the Lord said, verse 15, unto him, "Therefore whosoever slays Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold." So the Lord said he was going to protect Cain, and he was going to absolutely make sure that he lived. Why? Well, and the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any find him and should kill him. Wow. What's the mark? You probably talked about it before. The word in the Hebrew is oath. It's an interesting word. It has several different meanings. Oath, not oath like in court, but oath. A different pronunciation. It's got some interesting meanings to it. I have an opinion on it based on preaching for a long time. Obviously, it's a curse. It can mean a sign, a token. It can mean, of course, a warning, because all these things applied. But now, oath in the Hebrew doesn't specifically give us the actual meaning for this situation. But in the process of these words that I mentioned, a sign, a token, if you will, a warning. But there's an interesting root word to this Hebrew word that I think is the mark. Now, a lot of people have said, well, the mark is his skin color. He's going to be black. That's where the black folks come from. Well, that's about as stupid as anything that you can say. And let me back up on it. I apologize for using that word, but it aggravates me so much that people take these ridiculous trips and say that he's no, it doesn't. No, it's not even close. No Bible for it anywhere. I don't know how we ended up with that one. Well, I probably do, but nonetheless. So there's been a number of things that have tried to describe this situation, but there's a root word that I'm holding on to here that I think is the mark that Cain had. You see what Cain did. We have to go back to this verse that says, "Why are you angry?" Verse 6. If you do right, your countenance won't fall. If you do right, sin will not be at your door. But if you don't do right, now think about this for a minute. Cain goes out with Abel. They're out there by themselves. He kills him and buries him. Well, he knows that. Adam doesn't know that. Eve doesn't know that. They're not even in the story anymore. But obviously, he had to fabricate a lie. Something happened to Abel. I don't know where he went. He just ran off. Who knows what that story was, but he had to say something. So now we got more challenges than that, because now Cain knows in his heart and in his mind what he has done. Abel, dead now. Adam and Eve didn't know. There's no indication that he even had a conversation with them. I'm sure he did, but certainly not a confession. So, what is the mark? Well, it could be a token of some sort. It could be a warning sign. It could be something that just stood out on him so much. I don't think any of that's accurate according to the word and the root word. I believe that Cain's greatest mark put on him, and one of the root words of this word oath is remembrance. Memory. I believe that God said to Cain, you will never forget what you've done. I believe that the memory of what he did haunted him until the day he died. Now, you and I have some experience in memory. There's not a day in my life, not one day in my life that goes by that I do not have flashbacks of what I've done. I've been forgiven, I know that. But still, that memory, that thought is there. Is it not with you? I believe, according to the text and according to the root descriptions, I believe that among the other words that are there, I believe that memory, remembrance, could well be the situation that Cain was. Now we don't have a specific way, so nobody can say, well, I know exactly, because we don't know exactly. But by human nature, by him doing what he did, jealous of his brother, angry with his whole situation, jealous against God because Abel was received, he wasn't. So he's mad at God now. All these things happen. I'm just going to take care of my problem. I'm going to kill my problem. A lot of people think that's how you do it, but that's not going to work anything. So now I think that this memory, the Lord comes up and says, hey, where is he? What is he asking him for? I mean, he already knows, but why is he asking Cain? Where is he? What does that promote in you? When somebody says, where is your car? What do you have to do? Think. Where is that pocket knife? Where is my spatula? Where is my clothes? Where have you been? All memory has to come back. I believe that Cain's curse was memory. I can tell you it's mine. Comes back every day. I know I'm forgiven. And God said to Cain, I'm not going to let anybody kill you. I'm going to keep you alive. And the last thought probably is going to run through my head one of these days when I get to the death point is a regret of things that I've done in my life. I've been forgiven. I know that. But I believe that Cain's mark is certainly not a black person. Certainly not. Certainly not this sort of weird face or, none of that. I believe it's his memory. And I believe he died with it. And sometimes we have that same problem. I don't know. It's just a thought, but I believe there's some meat on the bone. Think about it. I'll talk to you later.